This video has been a long time coming. I've struggled a lot trying to make this video in respect to Baldur's Gate 3. It challenged me to reflect on my views and opinions, why I believe in them, to bite down to the bone, if you will. In this video, we're going to be exploring whether or not a game such as Baldur's Gate 3 is a renaissance or a regression for the gaming industry at large, and whether or not it should be supported. Now, I know I'm a bit late to the party, however,
You came.
Looks like just in the nick of time.
A couple minutes ago wouldn't have been so bad either.
What are you gonna do?
now whether we want to admit it or not, Baldur's Gate has had quite the impact in the gaming industry in as far as giving its customers value for money, as well as providing a feature-complete product, while simultaneously threatening to compromise the status quo in as far as what customers have come to expect from AAA gaming studios.
What? What the fuck is that bug? What is that bug?
You see, Baldur's Gate 3 has been a hit with fans, in part due to no microtransactions, as well as raising the bar for AAA RPGs, while other studios prefer to nickel and dime their customer base by providing unfinished products and charging extra dollars even after you've paid your $70 price tag.
You have to calm down.
That hacienda, I pay for it, and you treat us like dogs.
Hector, this isn't personal.
It is. It is personal.
According to Jason Schreier, who is the last good gaming journalist still walking the face of the earth, he says, gaming is a hits-driven business where the biggest productions cost hundreds of millions of dollars and need to find a way to recoup their sizable investments. As a result, the companies behind these massive games look for as many ways as possible to mitigate risk, either by copying popular trends like the Battle Royale craze of the late 2010s, or shoving in stores where you can pay extra money to make your character look cooler. A model that has proven to be lucrative, despite widespread distaste for it. On the flip side, Baldur's Gate 3 is full of risks. It's got dense, complicated rules. It features a brand of turn-based combat that's mostly gone out of style. It has so many branching paths that no player will see everything there is to see in the game, meaning its developers have spent countless resources on content that will go mostly unappreciated.
I love the game. I love the hustle, man.
Baldur's Gate 3, like its predecessor Elden Ring, threatens to set a new standard in the video game industry, not only in terms of quality, but also in fostering goodwill with its customers, something that most companies have forgotten. However, behind the shining success of Baldur's Gate 3 lies a darkness that walks on four legs, is extremely hairy, and looks like this. This bundle of joy, commonly known as bestiality, caused a lot of controversy for Baldur's Gate 3 months ago. Some people were flabbergasted and asking themselves, wait a minute, isn't this illegal? And also a step too far? But others countered back with, it's just a joke, and it's also presented as an option in the game, so you don't necessarily have to engage in that activity if you don't want to, which still doesn't really answer the question or make it any less illegal. More to the point, others pointed out that it's not bestiality, as the characters in questions are elves that can shapeshift into other creatures, and they consented, so it's okay.
Keep telling yourself that, darling.
Now, this thread of logic followed to its logical conclusion leads to disturbing outcomes. For example, people people pointed out that what if the elf had transformed into a 9-year-old girl or boy? Would that have been acceptable? Personally, I think it would be extremely interesting if this matter somehow ended up in court. I definitely think that we would get to learn a whole lot from it. When I saw the bare footage in Baldur's Gate 3 for the first time, like most people, I instantly thought it was extremely off-putting. It was cut and clear bestiality, which is obviously wrong. However, as I stated above, the point that was raised to counter this argument was it's shape-shifting elves that have agreed to engage in consensual you-know-what. So that means technically it isn't really bestiality, and such a thing can't be prosecuted. My argument would be, even if it isn't bestiality, let's grant for a moment and say it's not. My question is, why would you put something that explicitly borders on the fringes of bestiality into a video game? What exactly are you trying to achieve? Why push the envelope this far? It's similar to anime where they sexualize children, and when you call them out on it, they turn around and say, well, actually, it's an elf. And they are 10,000 years old, so relax. They just happen to be in a 12-year-old's body, or they just happen to look like a 12-year-old or a 9-year-old. So chill. I simply fail to understand. Baldur's Gate is an objectively good game. It does a lot of things right. It was going to be a hit regardless of whether the bear scene was there or not. So why include it in the first place, knowing that there was a good chance you'd receive reasonable backlash? Was it just a marketing stunt? Shock value to get people talking about it. If that was the case, then bravo to the marketing team. They certainly succeeded. I'd love to hear from you, dear soldier, whether you think Baldur's Gate 3 marks a renaissance or a regression for modern gaming entertainment today. Do you disagree with my take and see Baldur's Gate as a net positive for the gaming industry or not? Ultimately, whether we disagree or agree, one thing we can agree on is in the fullness of time, the ones who will decide the future of the video game industry will be you and I. More precisely, our wallets, for better or for worse. As usual, I thank you for listening, and most importantly, I thank you for your time. Good day, soldiers.
I am Optimus Prime, and I send this message to any surviving Autobots taking refuge among the stars. We are here. We are waiting.